Welcome to Haunt Weekly. Hello everyone, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
And this is Haunt Weekly, a weekly podcast for the haunted attraction, haunted entertainment industry. Whether you're an actor, owner, or just plain aficionado, we aim to be a podcast for you. And we have returned. It is another Monday. You have a Haunt Weekly. Sun goes up, sun goes down, tide comes in, tide comes out. You can't explain that. Okay, actually, I can't.
Pretty sure that there's explanations for all of that.
Including how Haunt Weekly got up.
Yeah.
The explanation's actually very boring. I basically, have a drink and edit audio.
Yeah. Speaking of how it goes up and all of that, though, we're going to be on Haunt Topic, on a show next week.
Yes, we are.
Next month.
Yes, we are.
Actually.
We'll be talking a little bit more about that. That's coming up. That's been a long time in the making with it. I almost forgot it was coming up.
Yeah.
Also,
I'm pulling up the event now so I can actually...
I want to, while you're pulling that up, though, first off, I want to say definitely find us at all the wonderful places that we may be found at. That includes our website, hauntweekly.com. We are Haunt Weekly on Twitter, Haunt Weekly on Facebook, and also tinyurl.com/hauntweekly will whisk you away to the magical land of our YouTube channel, where you may find all of our episodes archived for your convenience. It's a beautiful thing, our YouTube channel. I do so love it.
And it's Haunt Chat Live. I'm sorry, Mike Ross.
Yeah.
It's been a long weekend.
Yes,
My brain is not there, but we will be there. April, it's the first Saturday in April.
Yes, we will be there. That'll be a lot of fun. Also, a big thank you to everyone in Haunters Hangout.
Yes.
Who was suggesting us. There was a thread in Haunters Hangout. It was Haunters Hangout, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so we have so many groups. It's easy to lose track. It was Haunters Hangout. There was a thread asking, hey, are there haunted attraction podcasts? And many of you fine people decided to torture the poor original poster by suggesting us.
Thank you.
Thank you, you mad bastards, all of you, every single one. I appreciate it a great deal. We love you very much for it. But yes, this week's topic, haunt flyers. Yay! I can feel the enthusiasm already. Alright, but hear me out. We're going to get into why we're doing this in a minute, but this is actually the best time to have this conversation, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
If you're not thinking about your flyers right now, you're waiting too late.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be honest, and we're going to talk about why in a minute. So we're hoping, in addition to being able to give some help and some helpful suggestions, that maybe we'll plant the seed. Oh yeah, I should be thinking about that right now. 'Cause you should.
Yes. And if you want feedback on your flyer design, and you want honest feedback, so don't get mad at us for what we say about it.
When I piss in your cornflakes,
feel free to post it in a comment. On our Facebook page.
Or send it to us via message if you want to keep it...
Yeah, if you want to keep it private, send it to us via Messenger. We'll give you some feedback on it.
But I'm more than happy to do that. That's an excellent idea. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
You just completely came up and surprised me with in the middle of our recording.
I just voluntold you.
Yes, you did. I'm not going to forget that. Let's do conference reminders. I believe you start this week.
Yes.
It is an odd week, episode 117.
Yes. So, first, March 1st through the 3rd, the Maze Chicago Corn Party in Chicago, Illinois, Chicago Marriott, Southwest at Burr Ridge. Tours of 9 different farm attractions, including Fair Oaks Farm, Gobert's, Culper's Family Farm, and Jonamuck Orchard. The Maze, MAIZE.com for more.
That's a lot of damn corn, man.
Yes.
Now, last year, didn't they have that in Hawaii?
Yes.
And now they're doing it in Chicago?
Yes.
I mean, okay, it makes a little more sense from the corn perspective, I'm not going to lie to you. It
does.
But, dude, Hawaii?
Yeah.
We're stepping down from Hawaii to, anything? Like, New Orleans would be a tremendous step down from Hawaii.
Yeah.
Just saying, man. All right. After that, March 22nd to the 25th in St. Louis, Missouri, it's Trans World's Halloween and Attraction Show at the America Center, Basically, we could just copy this from every year Transworld has happened.
Pretty much.
Pretty much. There's a pre-convention bus tour visiting Nashville, Nightmare, and Talon Falls. There'll also be a voodoo soiree on Saturday night. Learn more at the HA show. That's HAASHOW.com.
And I do know from Haunters Hangouts and other groups that some haunts in the Chicago area will be opening for Transworld Weekend.
I'm assuming you meant St. Louis.
Yes, St. Louis, sorry. Like I said, really long weekend.
Last night went a little long. We're not gonna lie.
Yeah.
If we sound hungover, it's because we are.
Yeah. So I might. Anyway, so in St. Louis, there's a lot of haunts that are opening up, especially for this weekend. So be sure to be on the lookout for those who are going to
They're not part of the official
events.
deal.
Exactly. This is completely separate. You have to look for it.
Yeah, Transworld's a little bit like South by Southwest in that there's a lot of, like, I don't want to call it counter-programming. It's not really counter-programming.
Right. But additional things.
Additional things you can do that are not directly related or officially connected with the conference.
Yeah, and if you find out about any of those, feel free to also comment those so that people will know where to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Share and share alike, I always say.
Exactly. Now, my turn again.
Yes.
April 13th through the 15th, West Coast Haunters Convention in Portland, Oregon at the Doubletree Hotel, Portland. Touring Milburn's Haunted Manor. Also includes a costume ball, a silent auction, and the Nightmare After West Coast Haunters Convention Film Festival with films TBA on site, because that's secret. HauntersConvention.com for more info on that.
All right. Now I've got to brace myself. The long one's coming. And then May 18th through the 20th in Atlantic City, New Jersey, Halloween Show and National Haunters Convention presents Halloween Boardwalk Empire at the Showboat Convention Center. Features zombie volleyball, a Hearst show, a Mardi Gras themed costume ball, and much, much more. Learn all the details at HalloweenShow.com.
Then, May 25th through the 27th, it's Midwest Haunters Convention in Columbus, Ohio. Greater Columbus Convention Center featuring Masquerade Party, a zombie walk, and a pre-convention bus tour with haunts still to be announced.
Yes, DBA.
Yes. MidwestHauntersConvention.com for more info.
All right. And the final one for right now. Premier Haunted Attractions Tour and Education Series in Ulster Park, New York, June 22nd to the 23rd at the Super 8 Kingston. They'll be touring the Headless Horseman, which has 7 separate attractions on site. Good luck.
Yeah.
We might. We're still in talks about maybe going to this one, actually, for that very reason.
Yeah, I really want to.
Really want to see the Headless Horseman. Never gotten to go. Full itinerary TBA, though. Premier Haunted Tour with the 2 T's there.com. All right. That is it for the conference reminders, and that kicks off our topic this week. The Haunt Flyer. Every haunt has one.
Yes.
Most of them suck.
Yes.
Let's just be honest with ourselves. It's a bit like websites, isn't it?
Yeah.
Every haunt has one. They range from mediocre to bad, it seems.
Yeah.
And,
but there's some of them, like the charity haunts who do theirs basically on their printer, that are so endearing.
Oh, yeah.
It's not that they're bad. They're just so endearing.
Well, I think my favorite flyer I've ever seen, because it was the one that actually got us to go to a haunt,
right,
was Waterloo Sportsman Club in Southern Illinois.
Right.
That's the only time I went to a haunt solely because of a flyer.
Okay. Yeah, I thought that we had done that at Lafitte Fire Department too.
Well, we also saw the signs and other stuff there.
Yeah, but I think that we saw it as a flyer first.
Maybe. I don't know. That's a good question. That's a good thought. I didn't consider Lafitte. Lafitte at this point has just always been there in my head.
Yeah. There was a time when we didn't know it existed.
Before the Lafitte Fire Department Haunted House. We don't speak of those dark days. It was a challenging time. No,
yeah.
But okay, the reason we're doing this topic is because we both have a lot of experience in this area. Right. You have an art degree.
Yes.
I have a degree in advertising.
Yes.
We might have done a little design theory between us.
We might have, yeah.
But also, this is, like I said, probably the best time to be thinking about next year's flyers. At least starting the conversation. You want to start at least getting some of the concepts down, what you want it to be. And the only thing that I think really holds haunts back from doing their flyers basically, from day one, is they often wait to set their pricing or dates.
Right.
Until
And possibly theme.
Until later in the season. But if you've got your theme, you've got your dates, you got your pricing, got all your deets, go ahead and design your flyer.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons, and we're going to talk about this more, is if you have your flyer ready to go, you have the opportunity to jump on some amazing deals that come up.
Right.
In my experience in the printing industry, late spring to early summer is kind of a dead time for a lot of print shops.
Yeah.
Especially when you get toward like May, June, and early July and so forth.
Right.
You start getting to this really dead season, and they will start throwing deals at you like they're softballs through your window.
Hopefully not.
Okay, maybe not. They will attach the deals to a brick and throw it through the front window of your haunt.
I'm Dali. Come to my show.
Oh man, that might be something Dolly actually did. Is the reason for that joke. But yes, so yeah, if you think about it now and you have your flyers ready, you can jump on an amazing deal. If you wait until closer in, it's going to get more expensive. Yeah. It's a bit like airline flights.
Right.
It pays to buy your airline flights a certain amount of time before. Same deal with flyers.
Yeah.
So now's a good time to really be thinking about the design of the flyers. And also, we goofed. We were supposed to have a guest on this week, and we needed a quick topic. That's the other reason we're doing this.
Yeah.
Just to be honest.
Yeah, we just lost track of time.
The time got away from us. Like we said, it's been a weekend.
Yeah.
Been a weekend. I'm not going to lie. All right. So what I've done is, in our haunt, and I don't often toot our horn a lot.
Right.
We believe in being humble. Most of the time. We are very, very, very humble people. More humble than anybody we know.
Yes. We're humble in our humbleness.
But we do not toot our own horn a lot. But I want to say this. This is an area, I think, where we compete with the pro haunts in our area very, very well.
Yeah.
We have flyers that get recognized, get seen, get picked up, and people seem to really enjoy.
Yeah.
So, and also they are consistent enough year to year that people know to look for them.
Yeah, they're immediately recognizable as ours.
Yes, and they're not over-designed. If anything, they're under-designed.
Yeah.
But, basically we took a very different approach and very different aesthetic, and I think it helps us stand out when you're looking at the flyer table in Spirit or whatever coffee shop we're at.
Yeah, and I think we probably even have the first or second year one that we did, and we can post some of ours.
Yeah, we'll post some of ours. Yeah, it'll be fun. We'll do it on the Facebook page, though, not on there.
Yeah.
Because basically, the website is very limited in what we can easily post. We'll do it on the Facebook page. Haunt Weekly on Facebook. Follow us there.
Yeah, and you'll be able to see some of our past ones.
And how we've improved a lot. But yes, I think we do very well in this area because it also plays well with our theme, which our theme is old timey carnival type thing.
Right.
And so we do flyers that look like old timey carnival flyers.
Yeah.
Like if I were going to promote a flyer, like a carnival from the 1800s, this would be roughly what it looked like.
Yeah.
So, anyways. But no, we wanted to pass along what we know from our design background, and hopefully some other haunts will be able to take this and apply it. Basically, that's the goal. All right. Now, the actual first place to begin when discussing flyers is to discuss the size of the flyer.
Right.
And I've done a lot of thinking on this. Well, the first thing you need to do is go look at other flyers in your area.
Yeah.
Visit coffee shops, visit restaurants, visit bars, visit wherever you might find hotels, wherever you might find flyers, and look at the types of flyers that are being left out.
Yeah.
You want to mimic what's being seen in your community.
Yeah.
And that's very important. So remember this, when you're leaving a flyer out, this business is giving you free promotion. Mm-hmm. They don't have to do that.
No.
They just take your flyers and round file them right after you leave. They don't have to do this. You can't force any place to let you leave flyers.
Right.
So you have to be a good citizen about it. And if everyone has a flyer of a certain style or size, then you want to mimic that so you're not being greedy and taking more, than what's yours. And a lot of people think, oh yeah, it's great, I'll have a different shaped flyer and I'll be immediately noticeable and all that.
Yeah.
And yeah, a lot of businesses are going to round file you. They will throw you because you're taking up too much space on the table, you're preventing other people from leaving their flyers. Being a good citizen means first and foremost understanding what you can ethically do in your area.
Right.
Now, that being said, I believe, and this is after some pretty extensive research today on this, there's only 2 sizes of flyers haunts really need to worry about. Mm-hmm. The first is the classic, ever so elegant and beautiful, quarter-page flyer. Its dimensions are 4.25, 4.25 by 5.5. You might notice that is exactly 1/4 of a letter-size sheet of paper. That's 8.5 by 11.
Yeah.
This is by far the most common flyer size for haunted attractions. Mm-hmm. It is the same proportions as a sheet of paper. That's one thing about being a quarter sheet of paper.
Yeah.
It is the same proportions. This means it can scale up to be a letter size thing. So if you wanted to take your quarter-page flyer and make it a full-page poster,
right,
you can do that very easily.
Or vice versa.
Or vice versa, exactly. You can reuse your design, and that's a huge help if you're pressed for time, especially if you're not a particularly good designer and you struggle with it and you want to do it once and be done, basically.
Right.
That's a huge asset to this.
And this is, of course, if you're designing your own and not hiring someone to do it for you.
Well, if you're designing someone else, then this helps. This means you probably only have to pay them for one design.
Yeah, exactly.
It will fit well with other flyers. Most flyers for like clubs, parties, events, things like that are also this size, at least in our area.
Right.
And by the way, if you do have some kind of off-the-wall size in your area that I have never laid eyes upon in my travels, copy it. Don't necessarily list it. We're going on what I've seen and what I've noticed here. Now, the beautiful thing about it is this design can be either portrait or landscape, or vertical or horizontal if you prefer.
Right.
I mean, and that's really, really handy because that gives you a chance to do something very different with your flyer while maintaining the same dimensions.
Yeah, because I know that locally, we're the only one that does landscape. Everybody else does portrait flyers.
Right. And that helps us stand out a little bit, I think.
Yeah, even though we're staying within that same size,
yeah.
So we're being the good neighbor.
We're being the good neighbor, being the good business here, but it does immediately leap out. You leap and you see this giant rack of vertical, and then there's this one weirdo that's landscape, and it's like, oh, interesting.
Yeah.
And many businesses will have flyer tables and racks and places to leave flyers that are designed with this flyer size in mind.
Right.
So, this is... If you don't know what size, if you don't have a good reason to leave this behind, this is your flyer size.
Yep.
Now, the other size you may want to consider is a rack card. Mm-hmm. Now, a rack card, if you've ever been to a hotel in like a touristy area, or actually just any business in a touristy area, you've probably seen those racks of little tall brochure type things to do in whatever stand, wherever you're at. Those are rack cards. They are 4 inches wide by 9 inches tall. And like I said, they're commonly seen as takeaways in touristy areas. Gas stations often have a rack card display. Right. And the neat thing about them is they fit perfectly into a letter-sized envelope. A letter-sized envelope, conveniently, is 4.5 inches wide, and 4.5 inches long. Tall. Jesus Christ, Jonathan! It has been quite a weekend. and 9 inches long, so it'll fit perfectly inside a letter-sized envelope. These are significantly more expensive to produce because you're dealing with a lot more surface area, a lot more ink, a lot more paper goes into this. And many players will not have a place for rack cards. Right. And so you may want or need to buy rack card stands, little plastic stands you can put them in if you're going to leave that size out. Now, here's my thought. Where we're at in Algiers in New Orleans, it's the quarter-page flyer all the way. Yeah. That's everything. In fact, that's all I think the pro haunts do, too. Right. But if we were going to open up a French Quarter attraction...
Or anything on the other side of the river.
Specifically, I think French Quarter, mostly, because then you'd want to be getting into the rack stands
in every hotel. Well, and I think for the professional ones, they probably do. I think I've seen some of them.
It'd be interesting, but yeah, basically, if you're in a tourist area where there's a lot of these rack cards and a lot of these rack stands, you're going to want to make rack cards either as an alternative to your main flyer or even instead of.
Right. And obviously, you'll want to get in touch with the places with rat cards that you want to leave them before you order to make sure that you can leave them.
Well, usually, and this is a good initial tip here, usually, like at hotels and so forth, there is a company that places them there.
Right.
You can contact the company, find out how many you need to produce, and how much it costs for them to stick your flyers in and amongst the other rat cards.
Yeah, that way they can handle the distribution for you.
Exactly. Honestly, I don't... If I were running a French Quarter attraction, I'd do that.
Yeah.
I don't know how useful it is for a seasonal attraction, though. A French Quarter attraction will almost certainly be more year-round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. So that's something for you to discuss and think about. But there are a lot of places with rat card stands and so forth in touristy areas. Learn about them and then make rat cards. Okay, and like I said, choose the size that's most common in your area. If you have some weird off-the-wall size that's very common in your area,
right?
I mean, there are some places that only leave business cards. I don't think it's worth making a business card for your haunt. I don't see that one going well.
No, not unless you already have it because you're going to conferences and things and handing them out.
Yeah, but the business card's for you, not the haunt.
Yeah, I know.
So, I don't know. But yeah, it's just easier to leave flyers when you're playing nice and you're playing by the local rules.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my initial piece of advice. Okay. Beyond that, thickness and color, the other things you need to think about. 14-point cardstock is probably what you want to shoot for at a pro haunt. If you're a home haunt or a charity haunt, you can probably get away with just about any goddamn thing, as we've seen.
Yeah.
But if you're a pro haunt wanting to have a pro image, 14-point cardstock is what I would consider the starting point. You might be able to get away with 12. But I personally would shoot for 14-point myself. Glossy on both sides. And weirdly, and this is something I've been doing a lot of research, weirdly glossy is cheaper.
Yeah, I've noticed that trend.
Did I miss a memo?
It's just odd.
I mean, maybe it's because
everybody likes glossy.
Everyone does, but I thought it was an extra processing layer to do that. I mean, I don't know. You know, it's like, I guess it's maybe because the flyers don't stick together, so it's easier for them to work with.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
They also leave fingerprints a lot.
That's true. And also, in addition to that, you want full color both sides.
Yes.
Okay, so to recap real fast what you're buying.
Yeah.
Probably it's going to be a quarter-page flyer, 4.25 by 5.5 inches. Can be vertical or horizontal. That's completely your choice. 14-point cardstock, glossy on both sides, full color on both sides.
Yeah.
That is what you're shooting for. Now that you've got what you're trying to buy, well, you got to design it.
Yay!
You know your dimensions, you know what you're trying to make. Now you got to design it. Alright, guys, we got to have a talk about this one. We got to have a long, hard talk on this one. I'm going to give you one very simple design rule that every artist knows and that pretty much every advertising person knows. I think this is one of the things that our educations overlapped on very neatly. Have one visual center.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah. Now, that does not mean that your visual center is in the center of your page.
No.
And in fact, there's a rule of thirds. If you look up rule of thirds, you'll find out the best places to put your visual center.
Yes. And I would say, honestly, because the basic rule of thirds, we'll just nail this down real fast, is you take your document, this flyer, you draw two lines, you divide it in thirds horizontally and vertically.
Right.
Where you have the dots, where those lines cross, that's where you want stuff.
Exactly. At the intersections, it's the most impactful point.
Yes. Now, it doesn't have to be the top left one or the top one at all. It could be like on our flyer, the visual center is actually bottom right.
Yeah.
But it's very much in that dot.
It is. And the other thing to remember, if you have characters on your card, people will look where the eyes of your character are looking.
Yep.
And if your fingers are pointing, then you want them to point to the text you want people to read.
You don't want characters looking off page or pointing off page. God help us.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. If you need to reverse the image to make it fit right, go ahead. Because unless you can see all of their fingers, it's very hard to spot that.
Right.
So just Mickey Mouse your character. I don't know. Don't show your fingers. Other than that, you'll probably be fine.
Yeah.
That's the only way people immediately are able to tell something's off with the image, usually.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, but basically you want one visual center. You want one thing that everyone's eyes are going to fall on immediately when they pick up or look at that flyer. One thing. I see all these flyers that'll have like a really bold header across the top, and then a really strong thing in the center, and then a background image that's filling up the rim.
Yeah.
And it's like my eyes are spazzing out trying to go find what to look at.
Right. And it makes it very hard to read.
It can actually make it physically taxing.
Yeah.
I think that's the way to describe it. It's exhausting to read your flyer if you have too much going on. And I can't remember who it was, but someone talked about a design process where they started with this beautiful night background with a tree.
Right.
Then they added this thing, a church, and this thing and that thing. And they eventually just like cluttered up like magnet poetry.
Yeah. Yeah. That's,
But yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay, you do need to have your logo on it, but your logo probably will not be your visual center.
Right.
Your visual center more likely will be a character from your haunt, like it is on ours.
Right.
A photo from your haunt.
Mm-hmm.
Or some other piece of artwork.
Right.
That represents your haunt. It will not be your logo. The logo is important. It should be prominent. But it will not be the visual center because it's kind of not... Because a logo doesn't say much about your haunt except for who you are.
Right.
You want something that really attracts people in. And also people aren't like drawn to logos generally.
Right.
You want something that draws people into your flyer. And a logo will not do that. But yeah, have a logo, make it distinct, make it readable.
Yes.
At all sizes. Listen, people. We're talking here. Also, make sure that your flyer has all of the basic information if you were present for our talk. We did the 6 marketing questions talk.
Right.
Which was actually spun off into a large portion of my talk about website development.
Yes.
That I did at HauntCon and at Halloween Haunt Fest.
Yes.
Answer 6 questions: who, what, when, where, why, how. I would just encourage you to go back to the 6 marketing topics or go into those more deeply. Now, obviously, you're not going to put the quantity of information on your flyer that you put on your website.
Right.
But you still have to at least touch those questions.
Yeah, because basically you want to be able for people to look at it, recognize what it is, and get the information in a few seconds so that they can decide whether or not they're taking it with them.
Yeah, what you really don't want with a flyer is someone to go, wow, this looks really cool. I have no idea what to do with it.
Yeah, what is this for?
This looks really pretty. It's nice.
It looks Halloween-y.
Yeah. Yeah, don't actually, be careful about that. So make sure you have the required information.
Yeah.
If you have all that details, you will give them what they need to know. But yeah, it's who you are, what you are, when are you open, where you at.
Yeah.
Why should I go to your haunt versus someone else's, and how do I pay you? Basically, how do I get a ticket?
Yeah.
Do I go online? How much is it? Blah, blah, blah. Those are the details you need to include, and you should be able to do that very easily.
Yeah.
In fact, it might not even be a major part of your haunt. Maybe flyer, rather. Some typography tips. I'm not going to go too deep into typography.
Yeah.
The main reason for that is simply there's a lot that we could go over with typography and get bogged down in it. Mm-hmm. Focus on readability over design.
Yes.
I see a lot of haunts that have a lot of haunt flyers that use fonts that look really cool,
right,
but are damn near unreadable.
Yeah.
You see like those medieval fonts or the blood drip fonts and all that.
The ones with the jagged edge. I think it's called Chiller.
Yeah, and there's like the Metallica fonts and all that.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. Yeah, don't do that.
No.
Just don't. Focus on readability. And like I said, cut out the damn blood drips. Mm-hmm. Because, let's be honest, it hurts readability. And what are you, a death metal band from Finland? Seriously?
Yeah.
Come on. We're better than this. We're smarter than this.
We are.
Let's move past this. It's overdone. All right. One thing to remember is with a haunt flyer, we're already breaking one of the fundamental typography rules.
Yeah.
Like, you go to Typography 101, like, I'm not even sure if that's ever really been a class.
It should be.
Should be. But you go to anywhere that's talking about typography, the first rule they're going to tell you is black text, white background.
Yeah.
We don't do that.
Nope.
We're white text, black background, and you know what?
Or a colorful text
Or
and black
God help us all.
background.
Yeah.
But that's what we've seen.
Yes, we have. But the point of the matter is, we're breaking a fundamental rule of typography. And it's a bit like, my doctor says when he's talking about my caffeine problems, we have to treat around. I don't expect you to kick caffeine. We're going to have to treat around the caffeine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got to treat around this typography no-no.
Right.
And that's going to mean making sure our fonts are more clear, making sure everything that we do is more legible than you might have to if you did have a white background with black text.
Right.
One thing to remember is serif versus sans serif fonts. Okay, if you look at letters, kind of hard to describe, but basically some fonts have these little feets on them, as I like to call them.
Yeah.
Little feets at the end of like the R's and T's and things like that.
Right.
At the ends. Those are called serifs. Mm-hmm. Sans serif fonts are sans serif. They do not have serifs.
Right.
Serif fonts obviously have serifs. The general rule, and the rule you should follow until you know enough about typography to break the rule,
Yeah.
is use sans serif fonts in headlines and anything that's big, and serif fonts in body copy. Anything that's going to be probably below like 14 point size, you probably want a serif font. Mm-hmm. Now, it gets a little trickier with using the black background, because that can actually hurt to have a serif font. But my advice there is just experiment a little bit, and don't go crazy with your font choices no matter what.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Don't have 6 different
for
fonts on your flyer.
The general
please.
rule is you should never have more than 2 fonts on any document.
Right.
A headline font. Well, I take that back. 3 if you have a graphic logo.
Yeah.
So you have a logo font, a headline font, and a body copy font. That's
Right.
it.
Yeah.
If you have more fonts than that, you done goofed. Okay?
Yeah.
If you do, and like I said, these are rules of typography. You can break them and get away with them.
Right.
But you have to know when to break these rules. And if you don't know when to break the rules, then don't break the rules.
Right.
It's just that simple. Similarly, don't mix justifications in the same block of text. Do not have like where one line is centered, one line is left justified, one line is right justified. You can have a block of text that's centered, you can have a block of text that's right justified or whatever, but they have to be separated.
Yeah.
You can't just have them like in the same sequence of text. It's impossible to read.
Right.
Honestly, I'm pretty much a consistent fan of left justified, unless you've got a damn good, unless it's like a subhead or a heading.
Yeah.
Basically, unless you've got some reason
Exactly.
to justify it a different way. I'm a pretty big fan of left justified, but I mean, we have some right justified text on our flyer too, so I can't say too much there, but
Yeah, I like the logo being centered at the top.
Yeah, with the headline.
The body text underneath being left justified, and the website or whatever at the bottom, the little call to action being centered.
Yep. Line spacing, while we're talking about some typography stuff, line spacing needs to be between 120 and 150% of the point size. So if you have 12-point font, let's say, then your line spacing needs to be at least 14 points.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is you don't want to crowd your text.
Yes. Yes, negative space is your friend.
Yes. Use the negative space. Use the false loop.
Yes, just because you've got to get a lot of information into a small space doesn't mean there has to be words on every single pixel of that card.
And in fact, that's something a lot of inexperienced designers forget or don't know, is that using negative space well actually draws more attention to what you're writing.
Exactly.
We had this conversation way back when we were doing the self-defense training and the martial arts classes.
Right.
Our dojo had this god-awful sign
Yeah.
hanging over. It was a giant white mess, and it had like 3,000 words. I think half of
Yeah.
half of Moby Dick was written on it. It was
Yeah.
ridiculous. Nobody could read it, and of course he wasn't getting any drive-up business.
Right.
And so we encouraged him, and he actually did it,
Yeah.
much to my surprise,
Yeah.
to tear down that god-awful sign and replace it with just one word. Karate.
Yeah.
Now, it was more than a karate studio, to be fair. Like I said, we were not doing karate.
Right.
But it put up just one giant karate sign, and you know what started happening? People started showing up and inquiring about karate lessons.
Yes.
It's amazing. Saying less makes it more powerful.
Yeah.
So don't overload. Yes, you have to answer those 6 questions. You can probably answer those 6 questions, though, very, very quickly.
Right. And don't forget that you do have 2 sides to your flyer that you can answer them in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. When I was doing the show notes, I was going to have a section here about kerning, which is the space between the letters.
Right.
I decided just to completely scrap that stupid idea.
Yeah. Basically, don't mess with the
auto kerning. Yeah, don't.
The auto kerning.
The auto kerning is going to be perfectly fine. You'll probably, if it's not your logo, don't fuck with the auto kerning.
Yeah.
Just don't. It's not worth it. I honestly, when doing flyers, I have only encountered a couple of times I've ever wanted to mess with the kerning.
Yeah.
And the best advice I can give you there is just look at it, and if the letters don't look like they're spaced right, especially like your headline, then adjust the kerning.
Yeah.
You will instinctively know if the kerning is wrong.
Yeah.
And if 2 letters touch when they shouldn't, adjust the kerning. All right, so tools to help with the design process. If you are on the professional side, InDesign and Quark Express are probably the top 2 desktop publishing platforms. I love InDesign.
Yeah.
We use InDesign for our flyers. Photoshop is also widely used for flyers, I found out.
Yes.
And in fact, if you go to Graphic River, which we'll talk about in a minute, you're going to need to use Photoshop because nearly all the assets only exist in Photoshop.
Gotcha.
Scribus or Scribus, I've never actually heard it said, is a free and open source desktop publishing source. It's okay. It can do pretty good, but this is an area where I don't think the open source alternatives have remotely caught up.
Yeah.
With the professional offerings.
Right.
It's not like with like video editing.
No.
There's some remarkably capable free video editors. Like I was actually very surprised what I could find in that area.
Yeah.
Or word processors. I mean, my God, there's some word processors out there I think blow Word out, actually beat Word. But,
Well,
whatever.
Well, there's whole open office.
Yeah, we have alternatives, but I don't think Scribus or Scribus or whatever has completely caught up.
Right.
We mentioned Canva previously. We did an episode about online services you needed to know. We mentioned them as a design service. They do offer a free version. It's canva.com, canva.com. Now, here's the thing. They do not have this either of the flyer sizes I mentioned as their default options.
Right.
But what you can do, and this is another great goddamn reason to do a quarter-page flyer, is you can design the full-page flyer they have and then use their magic shrinking feature. If you do, I think it's you only can only do the magic resize in the free paid version.
Yeah.
But it's $10 a month. Come on.
It is $10 a month, and if you don't need it for more than a month, just cancel it after a month.
Exactly. And do the shrinky dink thing that makes it the correct size for you.
Right. So then you have your full page flyers and your quarter page flyers.
It's actually really, really cool. And then there's Graphic River, graphicriver.net. They sell templates and assets. Almost all of them, I think, are exclusively in Photoshop.
Yeah.
For the love of all that is good in the universe, do not design in Microsoft Word.
No.
If you design your flyer in Microsoft Word and you're not doing one of those cheesy charity haunt flyers that you're going to do on your own printer and pass out, I may reach through this microphone and just slap the crap out of you. That is not acceptable. Do not use Word. Come on. Scribus. I'll approve of Scribus. I'll approve of that. All right. So you've designed your flyer. Now you got to get them printed.
Yep.
Now, obviously, it might pay to check your local shops.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Even your local shops may have to send it off to get printed elsewhere.
Right, because we do like supporting local business.
Yes.
But we have not found one
Yes.
that can work with
what we
our
need.
Yeah, with what we need in our budget for flyers.
A lot of most local coffee most local coffee shops definitely can't print any flyers.
Yes.
But most of the local coffee shops either are these huge enterprise business printing places that won't even touch our quantity,
right?
Or they are like small, like Kinko's-ish places, that can't handle something this complex.
Right.
So the result of that is we end up pretty much always going online because that's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
And we give them the order. Now, what we've done here is we've listed a few places we've done business with in the past. We're not leaving anyone out for any particular reason. These are the places we've worked with. And I will vouch personally for the print quality of all three of these. Mm-hmm. They may not be ideal choices for you, but we have had no issues with them.
Right.
So, the first one, and by the way, I also went through each one and mocked up an order for 5,000 quarter-page flyers at the necessary thickness with the necessary gloss.
Yeah.
So, and I had to kind of cheat with Jack prints because they only had the 12 point, but instead of 14 point. But whatever. Yeah.
So now you know Jack prints is 12 point.
Yeah. But anyways, the first one is Vistaprint. Now they were $175. By the way, this does not include shipping on any of them.
Right.
So yeah, $175. They often, however, run really extreme deals.
Yes.
My advice with Vistaprint, if you're interested in going with them, A, is be prepared to wait. The shipping and receiving is slow. But my advice there is to get on their email newsletter and just keep your head up and keep looking for their deals. You can sometimes snag up to like 40% off.
Yeah. And actually, they have this bus that goes around too.
Yeah.
We were very lucky to hear about it whenever it came to New Orleans. We got a brand new banner.
Yeah, for free.
For free.
Just for free. Gratis.
Yeah.
And new magnets, I think, too. We got the banner and magnets.
And the car magnets.
Yeah.
So,
I think they offered up to $100.
Yeah.
So that was crazy, and we're very grateful for that. That banner has actually held up really freaking well.
Yeah, it's an outdoor rated banner.
Yeah.
And
I don't think we've ever actually ordered the flyers from them. I think it's the one thing we've never ordered from. We've ordered banners, T-shirts.
I thought we had at one point.
Maybe we had at one point, but
yeah, I'm pretty sure we've
been doing this 13 years. I'm sure we might have at some point.
Well, I mean, I know that the very first ones we ordered were from Office Depot.
Ugh.
There's a reason they're not on this list.
Yeah. Remember back a while ago I said I can vouch for the print quality of all these?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. We'll leave it there.
Yeah.
All right, next up is Jack Prints. Also the Haunt Flyers guys. These were the guys that were Haunt Flyers at one point.
Right.
They were not $199, once again for the 12 point.
Right.
Not the 14. And also with Vistaprint, I'm not 100% sure what the point size was. They did not actually list the point size. They just list premium, standard, and so forth. But I think standard would be the standard.
Yeah.
But anyways, now the thing about Jack Prints is that is a higher price, but they do have a $99 deal if you're willing to go with thinner paper.
Yeah.
Which worked out well for us.
Right.
Because we're a home haunt, and basically that let us not only drastically cut back our printing expenses, but get more flyers.
Right.
We're not sitting there trying to compete with professionalism of, House of Shock, Mortuary, and all those guys. So we ended up going with that. Now, I don't know if we'll do it again this year. I haven't decided.
Yeah. Yeah, because on the one hand, I did like that it was able to be folded and put in your pocket easily. Yeah. But
it was not cardstock at all.
No. But it was heavier than regular paper.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not sure either.
But yeah, the print quality was amazing. I loved that. But yeah,
and they worked with you with the setup. The customer service was really good there.
Yeah, it was excellent. I have no complaints about it other than the $99 deal is very, very thin on cardstock paper. Very thin for flyer cardstock paper. It'd be thick in like a notebook or something.
Right.
But anyway, so something to consider there. And also with Jack Prints, they just sent us a 25% off coupon that's good through March 31st.
So we need to look at that.
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
And then finally, Next Day Flyers, nextdayflyers.com. Their price is $155. what I love about them is their turnaround time.
Yeah, and they were very good quality.
Yes, very, very good quality flyers. And even getting the slowest options we could.
Right.
Like, I think the slowest is like 3-day turnaround printing.
Yeah.
We still got our flyers within a week.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, it was 3 days for the printing, 3 days for the shipping. I think we had it in 6 days.
Right.
And I cannot say that about Jack Print or Vista Print.
No.
So even like going the slowest, laziest, cheapest way we could with them. And by the way, all these represent the cheapest turnaround time.
Right.
Time too. I should have said that. So that brings me to the getting the best deals. How do you get deals on this? One is be flexible and frankly wait. What I would do right now is design your flyers today, tonight, whenever. Design your flyers, have them ready to go.
Right.
And get on the email newsletters for these guys and anyone else you're considering using.
Right.
And when they offer a deal, you jump.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
A lot of times, they're going to be offering deals the same time stores are going to be running sales.
Yeah.
So tax season's coming up. They may do a tax season offer.
Mm-hmm.
They may do a July 4th offer.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that I saw President's Day just passed.
Yeah, well, Vista Print pretty much never stops running sales, so
Yeah.
they probably have one for Groundhog Day, but Arbor Day sale, trees. Oh wait,
That's terrible.
reason 592 that I'm going to hell. All right, good news, everyone. Oh, okay. Anyway, where the hell were we in these notes? Oh my god. Oh yeah. Okay.
for the best deal.
Best deal. Next tip is to buy in bulk. Do one order for your flyers,
Yep.
and that's it.
Yep.
We screwed up one year royally on this front. We ended up, and this is a lesson learned. We bought an order of 1,000, which we thought would be enough.
Right, because it had been previous
It
years.
had been previous years. Flyers were going like mad that year.
Yeah.
So we had to put in an emergency order for 500 more. That emergency order, because of the expedited turnaround and everything, literally cost more than the original order of 100.
Then 1,000.
1,000, sorry. It literally cost more.
Yeah.
We screwed ourselves so hard. Don't do that. Basically, buy more flyers than you will ever need.
Yeah.
Is my advice. It's better to have flyers left over than to need more in emergencies.
Yeah, and what happened that year was that 2 stores, instead of just leaving our stacks of flyers on the counter, actually started putting them in customer bags.
Yeah, when they found out we were a free neighborhood thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really went out of their way to support us, and I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But we burned our flyer supply in like a week and a half.
We did not realize that they would go that fast.
So, yeah, we did the 5,000 deal with Jack Prince. And do I have about 2,000 of those flyers sitting around somewhere? Yes. Do I care? Not really.
I got rid of some of those last week.
Yeah, we did. But, so yeah, basically, also, if you buy early, that frees you up to get the slowest turnaround and the slowest shipping, which is a huge money saver.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, okay, like a good example is this, at Next Day Flyers, the difference between the 3-day turnaround, which is their normal or slow turnaround, versus the next day, like their namesake is literally having the price.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. So if you need expedited flyers, you're screwing yourself. Get them now, get early, get the slowest shipping, slowest processing you can. Basically just tell them whenever you get around to it is great.
Yeah.
Just make sure it's here sometime before like September.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I would personally say. Real quick, we're running out of time. Jeez.
Yeah, I know. We've still got quite a few notes to get through.
No, we do. Okay, let's hurry this up. Where to put the goddamn things after you get them back?
We should also add in here when to put them out.
Oh, yes, good idea. Where and when? Okay, the when, so the problem with when is always such a challenge.
It is.
We always struggle with this ourselves. Because you don't want to put them out too early.
Right.
Because then you're just basically throwing flyers into the ether and you're never going to see any return from them.
Yeah, because people are going to forget.
Yeah. But you don't want to put them out too late, otherwise people can't plan to go.
Yeah.
And the honest advice I have there is we tend to say put them out about 3 weeks before you open.
Yeah.
That seems to be about right. So where do you put them? So that's when you start putting them out at 3 weeks. You're going to keep stocking and refilling as time goes on. Where do you put them out? Basically, restaurants, bars, coffee shops, anywhere that's locally owned.
Yeah.
Now, this is a lesson we've learned the hard way over the years. National chains, and this includes, unfortunately, Party City, are dicks.
Yeah.
That's the only way to say it. They're dicks. They do not accept flyers of any stripe.
Right.
So you're stuck. Now, the only exception to that rule is Spirit. I mean, obviously, you're going to hit the Halloween shops, including Spirit. Spirit will, usually with some kind of cursory donation to their charity.
Right.
And my advice, by the way, with Spirit and the flyers, donate it. I mean, obviously, you're going to donate it up to get the stupid little bracelet thing.
Yeah, it's usually $10.
Usually $10. So donate at least that much. And that way, when you go back to stock up, wear the bracelet.
Yeah.
They'll know you made the donation. They won't even...
They won't ask you.
They won't ask you.
Yep.
Yeah, we've actually ran into that issue before. So wear the bracelet when you go in. Focus on places that feature your demographic, whatever you're targeting. For most haunts, it's going to be teenagers.
Yeah.
So maybe not so much bars, but
libraries.
Yeah, coffee shops.
Yeah.
You know, places like that. Also, schools oftentimes will have places that, you know, like local events can put their flyers out. If you have access to a high schooler or can kidnap one,
don't kidnap kids.
Get them to help you with that.
Yeah.
That is something that you can do. My general rule is to try to get everything you can within a 5-mile radius thoroughly papered, and anything you can easily hit within 10 miles.
Yeah.
You want, because that's the distance someone can trivially and impulsively drive to your haunt.
Yep.
Anything further away than that, you start involving plans and timing and where does it work into the evening and blah, 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 blah. You know, you want where people can, like, almost impulsively go to your haunt. Like, oh, Christ, this flyer is great. I'm going now.
Yes.
You want that kind of response almost. So, yeah, anything within the 10-mile radius. Now, if you're in a major urban area, obviously you can't hit everything in the 5 or 10-mile radius.
Right.
It's physically impossible. Do get a flyer team together. But yeah, focus on the radius around your haunt is where you're going to want to put most of that effort. Do accompany flyers with posters when you can. If they'll let you put, like, a lot of coffee shops will have event poster walls and flyer stands.
Right.
Like our local coffee shops have that. Do both.
Yeah.
So this is one of those reasons why it pays to take that quarter-page flyer and also make it a full-page one. Because you can stick that up and bring thumbtacks if you're doing it. Contribute. Donate thumbtacks to the cause.
Yeah.
Don't steal other people's thumbtacks.
Yeah.
For the love of God. But you stick it up there, people will see it, and then they'll see the card, and they'll immediately know it's that they can take that one with them.
Right.
And that way they won't steal your full poster.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Do agree to do a flyer exchange when practical.
Right.
If you're going to do a flyer exchange, have your flyer table at the exit of your haunt.
Yeah.
Basically, you want to answer the question for the people that come through your haunt, where do we go next?
Yeah.
Offer them some alternatives.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I've seen that anywhere. I think everybody has theirs at the ticket booth, which is on the way in.
Stupid. Because what if I see something more interesting than the haunt I'm at? Well, I was going to go to this haunt, but screw this.
There's another one.
There's a...
And this flyer has a coupon on it.
Yeah, exactly. Put it in the exit line.
Yeah.
Also, see our episode number 35 on guerrilla marketing for more tips on where to leave these flyers. We had a much more thorough discussion in that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically speaking, flyers are very important to this industry. Ridiculously important, and I would say. So we do it right. Do it well.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not saying I'm like some kind of flyer god.
Right.
But I think, at the very least, we convey the right information, and we do so in a way that is visually compelling and unique to us.
Yeah.
And I think that's good. Yeah. I think other haunts, if I can do it, I know other haunts can. I'm Joe Nobody.
Oh, yes, but you have a marketing degree. And I had to take design classes in art school.
Yeah,
So
we had a leg up, but still, I mean, it's not like we're design team 6 or something.
Yeah, but I think that because we have that background and we've been doing it so long that we forget that not everybody has those basics.
I agree with that. I also think that a lot of people, the design of the flyer is an afterthought.
Yeah.
And that's a huge mistake.
Right.
It needs to be something that does occupy some brain space.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why we have the division of labor we do, is because I think about the flyer and obsess over that detail.
Right.
That frees you up to do the haunt work.
Exactly.
I do that stuff.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's important. Spend some brain cycles on it, you know?
Yeah.
Well, that's about all I have right now. I think there's still more we could really do on this topic. Maybe we'll come back to it at some point.
Yeah. Maybe we'll do an open online thing where you can ask your questions.
Yeah.
If you're interested in that, let us know.
Yeah.
Where would they do that?
Yeah. They would do that at Haunt Weekly on Facebook, Haunt Weekly on Twitter, too.
Yeah.
All finer social media establishments other than Instagram, Snapchat.
Yeah.
All that are not,
Yeah. We may...
we may need to expand our presence a little bit.
A little bit.
But until next time, everyone, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
And this was Haunt Weekly, episode 117, talking about haunt flyers. We will see you guys next time.